Camilla.
And I'm Kay, and we are
the FI Resellers. And we started off this week not very good, but we turned it around. So we are going to update you on how our sales week went, show some of our best sales, and then give an update on our investments. So you want to watch the whole video so that you don't miss any of it. Okay, so you might recognize this dress because we've sold it once before. It is a C New York dress, and we sold it on eBay previously, and it was returned because it didn't fit the buyer, which is fine. We accept returns due to fit, and the buyer pays return shipping, so we don't mind those at all. And so we relisted it, and it sold again, and this time it sold for $40 plus shipping. So that was pretty good, especially considering we just recently relisted it. And this is a really nice kind of summery dress, and so I wanted to, get that fast sale before summer ends. And we got this in Austin from a thrift store there, and so we didn't pay that much for it, so I'm happy to see it go. And I hope that this buyer fits this dress so we don't get it back again.
Okay, this next sale is an example of if it's cheap enough, we might just do it again. So it's $60 plus shipping, and for $1 and having to pack up something like this, it's kind of worth it. So this is a Tascam multi-track recorder, and it doesn't have the power cord. I bought it as is from a pawn shop. They were having some sort of special where I had bought something else for our business there, and they wanted to give this to me for $1 or essentially free with a little DC power cord that we have. And I tested it, it turned on. So overall, it was worth the chance for $1, and it is worth the trouble, hopefully, to pack this up. So there is a special shout out that needs to go out to Joe Dempsey. He is always buying stuff from pawn shops, and he inspired this partially because we almost never go to pawn shops for pretty much anything, but this happened to be a good day, and so you should definitely check out Joe. He has a lot of great content. He has a lot of great success buying things from pawn shops and flipping them really quickly. So follow his content on both Instagram and on YouTube. This one was just really unique because we don't really deal with this type of stuff, and it's going to be a bit of a beast to pack it up, ship it out. But the good thing is we're going to ship it USPS. We have priority mailboxes. We're going to go ahead and Frankenstein a box because even though this is really heavy, it's just going over a few cities over to San Marcos, Texas. So it's only about $12 to ship it. So not too bad. All right, folks, this is what we've got. And it is not pretty. I Franken boxed two 1095s together. And like I said, not pretty, but it's going. Okay, this sale is going to be a local Facebook marketplace pickup. And we are going to sell this for $60. It's a router, tri-band Wi-Fi router. It's pretty fancy. It's got 6 antennas. It's basically brand new, and it's really a testament to what crazy things you can find at the Goodwill outlet, the bins. And so I kind of remember jumping towards the bin to grab this because it looked basically brand new, and you can see how shiny this box is. So it caught my eye, and I grabbed it. It's only like 3 pounds, so we're gonna flip it for 60. We love it that there are no fees. It's just gonna be really close by here. Gonna go to the grocery store afterward. So it's no skin off our backs to meet someone, especially when we get something for so cheap. Other than that, this is really outside of our realm of comfort. If for some reason this doesn't work, a local pickup makes sense to me because the guy can always just, come and just message me and we can see if we can work something out. But I did turn it on and it looks to be in working condition. I did not plug it into my own internet, but it's just one of those things where if it turns on, it's very likely to work because it is basically brand new. So we're going to give that a try and hopefully it works out. It is really nice and all. I did want maybe $80, but I'll take 60 at this point. I'm trying to move a lot of things in our house as usual so that we can go thrifting again.
So here we have a Lululemon top, and this is the Back in Action shirt. And apparently this is a shirt to be on the lookout for. This one was new with tags, so it did really well. But even without tags, I think it would still do pretty well. It seems like it is a more recent style, so it's definitely more sought after than some of the older stuff. And we sold this for $36 on Poshmark. I had it listed for $40. It seemed like other people had theirs listed a little higher, but as you could see on the tag, the price was only about $60. So I didn't feel quite right putting it at $50. I feel like that's not that much of a discount considering, it's not actually new. It's, came to our house first and then, we're selling it on. But this came from my sister, so we didn't have any cost of goods into it, which means that, all profit after Poshmark fees comes to us, which is great. We love getting things from family members. Definitely be on the lookout for Lululemon. Most people are, but the newer stuff, they still are coming out with things and people are still interested in buying them. So definitely be on the lookout for it. You can, still get good money for Lululemon. I've heard some resellers say, oh, it's over or whatever. I don't think that's true. We did have one honorable mention. We sold these Levi's orange tab jeans for $34.65 on eBay. And if you don't know to look out for orange tab jeans, we'll put a picture of what the orange tab looks like here. Those are sometimes vintage jeans, sometimes they make them now. But these, I believe, were vintage just based on the patch and all of that. And what is interesting about orange tab Levi's compared to like the red tab that you see, or even they have silver tab. The orange tab came out when the red tab was really more like the classic styles, like the 501s, that sort of thing. So the orange tab were more trendy styles. So you can see these jeans had kind of a flare and they were high rise. They were very 70s, style. So that's what you're looking for with orange tab jeans. They're a little bit more funky. They aren't as classic. So some people want the classic vintage Levi's, some people want the funky vintage Levi's. So you just have to find the right audience for them.
I've always thought that the orange tab was just a huge bolo, but it turns out though that only certain styles do well, and they don't sell for a huge amount of money. What we are still looking for are Levi's with the big E's. Those tend to do really well too. So, when it comes to Levi's, it varies so much, but this is just something that we've been on the lookout for. We found it the one time, we sold it, we're happy to get the sale. But at the end of the day, when it comes to Levi's, you always got to do your comps. And with the styles, they vary as well. So be on the lookout and just make sure you're doing your research.
Exactly. With Levi's especially, the more that you research and the more that you know, and the more that you kind of know the language of vintage jeans, the more you're going to get for it. So we aren't super well versed in that. So we always take the track of what's the least amount of effort that we can get the most amount of a reward for. That's kind of our business model, but you might be able to get more for an orange tab pair of jeans than we did, just because you're willing to put in more effort in the researching piece of it and finding, how exactly to market it. So one other sale that we wanted to share with you was this bundle on Poshmark. We sold 3 items for $30, so not that much profit per item, but it was nice to get all 3 of these items out of our house. The first was this express checkered shirt. The next was this pair of Calvin Klein dress pants, and then this Gitman Bros dress shirt. It was nice that this person was able to bundle all of these together. We got a couple thread-up boxes in the past year, and we're working through one now. So we have lots of men's items, and we list everything in there, like pretty much everything, anything that we aren't keeping for ourselves, we'll list, because we figure that people can bundle like this on Poshmark, and it will be worth our time to be able to, get something to be able to put with something else so that the buyer can take advantage of that flat rate shipping. And this was one of those cases where none of these items were like all-star items on their own. They were all kind of just like average stuff. I would have priced them at $10 if it wasn't that the fees were so high. So it's nice that this person was able to bundle them together and get that good deal.
When it comes to thread-up boxes, sometimes you just got to salvage what you can. And this is one of those cases where the cost of goods was close to $4, and we made less than $5 profit on each of these. Overall, it's worth the trouble of not having to redonate it and all that. We do care about trying to get these items new homes. So there's a little bit of a balance there when it comes to efficiency and effectiveness in trying to really help, find these secondhand goods a new place so that they can find some more use, so they don't have to go to the dumpster or whatever. So there's that argument too. Hopefully, as thrifters and resellers, you're considering that. That's something that we're pretty passionate about. We try to buy as many thrifted items for ourselves too. So there you go. So hopefully that's one of the reasons why you're doing reselling, just to find old things, new homes.
Okay, so in total, we sold 33 items this week for a gross revenue of $814.81. Our cost of goods for those 33 items was $86.68. On Poshmark, we sold 15 items for a net profit of $158.73. On eBay, we sold 14 items for $226.70. On Facebook, we sold 4 items for $98.79. We made a net profit of $484.22. So pretty good, pretty close to our profit goal for the week, which is $500 right now as we're part-time. On Poshmark, I sent out 20% offers on my whole closet. So that was why, we sold 15 items, but it's lower than the 14 items on eBay because we had been sending kind of aggressive offers. And then on Facebook, we sold a couple items right at the end of the week on, pickup items. So that was really great. We love doing that. We love getting that cash in hand. And one of those items you already saw, that Wi-Fi router. So that was a really great sale, and that really helps our total on Facebook.
Yeah, this week was kind of quantity over quality. We didn't have a whole lot of items to show you under the camera and all that like we usually do, but this week we're really just trying to churn through some of those lower dollar items. It's really good to get those out so that we can feel like once we start to go thrifting again soon, hopefully, then we'll feel like we have the space in our house to actually fill up and not feel too cluttered, not feel too overwhelmed with how many items we have. And we're getting really close. Since it's Labor Day, we're going to really start to crank those out, and we're hoping to finish that death pile by the end of the month.
Yeah. So then hopefully you'll get some more content from us, thrift hauls, things like that. And hopefully we'll have better sales because we'll have fresh inventory to list, not just death pile stuff.
Right now it's time for our segment on building wealth. This is where we take a little bit of money from our reselling profits and we put it into this total stock market index experiment where we show you the possibility of what your money can do for you. And this is the update, and it's actually going the opposite way of which we want it to go. It's going down, and we're not going to speculate on why that is. We just know that there's usually going to be bumps in the road. Previously, I had thought that maybe it would take a few months anyway. I thought maybe it would take about 3 months for us to get into the positive. So we do have a little bit of time to maybe where that prediction could still come true. But at the end of the day, we're not going to sweat it too much. We still are long-term on this. We always want to show you each week so that you can see and see our reaction to it as these things happen in real time. But as always, we're just going to let it do what it's going to do, and we'll just keep showing you, so keep up with us. And the other thing we wanted to talk about was kind of following up what we talked about last week with building wealth, is trying to figure out what your time is worth and trying to take that time back, because understanding what your time is worth is really important in building wealth, because you can't get it back, right? You can always make more money, but you can't make time and you can't get back time. So the other thing we wanted to talk about is why it is that's important. So our why of financial independence is really important to us. We've talked about this over and over. This why of FI, why of FI is sometimes as it's called, is something that we are anchoring ourselves to really hone in on why we're doing this experiment, why we invest so much, why we are so heavily invested in this index fund and all of that, right? Why we want to pursue financial independence is really important to all the actions that we subsequently take. And to us, it's about family, it's about taking care of our baby, it's about spending time with our baby, spending time with each other, and making sure we're able to experience life the way that is important to us. So that's why it's important for us to understand the value of time so that we can make the most of our time. And it's not always perfect, right? I would much rather be working from home. I would much rather be, maybe even reselling full time as well. But sometimes the circumstances just don't work out that way. So we do have to make sacrifices and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's worth it. And we do understand the decision making behind, just the sacrifices that we do have to make. And hopefully you have those situations in your life too, where you understand that, the reasons why you're doing something is very important and you're doing it for a reason. The why of what you're doing is so important that you do it anyway, regardless of these circumstances, the sacrifices that you need to make. So that's what we're about. That's hopefully something that you've considered. This is just something that a lot of people in the financial independence community really hone in on, because when the times get tough, you really got to know why you're doing something so that you can move forward. And that's often what we think about when it comes to our business too. Ironically or unironically, when we have a down week or when our investments have a down week, we understand why it is that we have started this thing in the first place, and that just keeps us going. So the motivation factor there is really important too to consider, because if you don't anchor yourself to something, then you're just gonna get lost on your path to nothingness, right? We have a very clear goal, so our path, even if it kind of goes left and right a little bit, we know that we're still heading towards this goal.
So that's all we have for you this week. Thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a comment down below how your week went. Are you, kind of in the same boat as us, lots of low dollar items, or did you have some really, really awesome out of the park sales? Let us know down in the comments. We'd love to chat with you down there. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. That tells YouTube that it should show this video to more people so that more people can discover our channel. And if you have just discovered our channel and aren't subscribed, consider subscribing. We would love to have you as part of our YouTube community.
Yeah, keep that passion burning, y'all. Understand why it is you're doing it. We are really rooting for you, because sometimes it's just a drag, but overall, hopefully the long term will be really good for you, that you continue to do it. And we are really hoping that you're doing well. We'll see you later.
Bye.